Use a plunge router. A plunge router is always a handy tool for your woodworking jobs. This is a great tool that can be conveniently carried to assist you in most of your jobs. Hence, a lot of workers see the plunge router a more practical and convenient tool than its fix-based counterpart. If you want to learn how to use this tool, check out the following tips below. Study the tool based on its manual. It is important that before you actually go out for a job with a plunge router, you have background information already in terms of using it. This also includes knowing the functions and features of each accessory that come with the tool. Understand the safety precautions when using the tool. This is of course necessary to help you prevent injuries from occurring. For instance, when you are about to use the router, you must turn it on while away from the wood. If it is touching the wood as you turn it on, it can cause injury. This is not to mention yet that it can mar the lumber you are working on. Gear up appropriately when using the tool. Take note that it is important that you wear safety goggles when you are working with this tool to protect your eyes from the dust the router creates from the wood. Also, use protective gloves as much as possible. If you do not have one, keep your hands away from the work area when the router is turned on. Practice using the router before working on the actual wood. You cannot always get the hang of knowing the cut's depth for the wood in your very first try. Hence, practice clamping down a small piece of wood to the router and test it for several passes in the tool. This way, you will learn not only how to use the router but also what kind of setting you must do for your desired results. You can also practice using the tool in cutting grooves, finishing wood edges, and making variations of designs. Adjust the depth lock depending on what design you want to give the wood. Take the handle and push it to the setting you want. Make sure you lock it afterwards to ensure that it will give you a single parallel design. Take note that if it is not locked, the bearing will move and will give the wood different designs. Also, make sure that when adjusting the depth setting, the machine is not turned on. Break down the job of the router to prevent straining of the tool. You also need to think of the condition of your router when using it for your task. For instance, if you need to cut a depth that exceeds 1/8 of an inch, it is best to break down the job to around 3 or even 4 passes. This does not only help in reducing tool straining but also minimize any possibility of tearing or chipping out of the wood. Knowing how to use a plunge router effectively and efficiently is essential if you want to find success in your woodworking tasks. With the proper use of this tool, you can create magnificent pieces of woods that you can always be proud of.